into the upper right in the red. He is for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the Atlanta champion, the GSL Season 2 champion. It's herO. And the bottom left in the red, winning a tournament a bit more recent, the GSL Super Tournament Season 2 champion, Solar. And how special is it that here on our last week of EPT Cups, where points actually can be accrued, we're sitting here, and it is the players, the two Koreans that have arguably had the best years, the two best years in Korea. Now, Maru maybe has a claim to that throne because he won the G5L, but other than that, I mean, okay, he did make the GSL finals in Season 2. So, two of the three players that go and that have had the best years out of Korea. And we get him here in the finals for the final week where EPT points actually matter. Although, in fairness, Solar and herO both, they have qualified for Katowice main event. As has Bjorn, who lost in the semis. Gumiho has not, though, so unfortunate for him. But herO, Solar, they've already qualified. Maybe this is just going to be for me a little bit better seeding in those groups as things happen. Although I would not be surprised. herO's got to be, I'm actually not sure. herO's got to be number 1 seed, I would assume. But for now, nothing too crazy from either side. herO did go for the pro block. Well, it was interesting. We did see Classic actually start to go and he didn't pro block game 2 in his series versus Sue, and he actually ended up, he ended up winning that game and game number 3. But he didn't pro block, and that's something we're seeing some Protoss players do more and more. But herO's not one of them. In fact, he's going to go the other approach, and he's going to keep this pro for forever. And he's going to delay the third base just a little bit. Good cancel there, and he's not going to be able to re-deny it once again. But still, it's a 2:48 second third base instead of a 2 minutes and 43 seconds third base, something like that. So, hey, nice little bit of delay here. 5 seconds can make a big deal. That's an extra drone, maybe. As the Adept just being annoying, kills off a Ling and forces a little bit inefficient mine. Ooh, he's not going to kill that. He tried, but unfortunately it ran out of shade, and now the Lings are going to look for the surround. Are they going to get it? Yeah, this Adept is going to be dead eventually. Second Adept arrives, but it's only 4 Lings there, and it needs a little bit more than that off creep. The math says, of course, it's 4 Lings for 1 Adept when you're playing defensively, but that is on creep. When it's off, not really as powerful. And the big deal, though, is the fact that these Adepts were not able to pair up means the economic damage potential is not nearly there as much. Oh, Solar tried to spore cancel. Not successful. He gets the second one, and the second Adept gets out. Even still, though. Where is that? Where did it go? Oracle's going to dive in, though, and this Solar has been being greedy. A lot of Zergs have. Really delaying their spores to try to make sure that something happens. Where did that? No, the Adept died. Okay, the Adept died, I think. Yeah, okay. I could have sworn it got out, but no, it died on the very last second, so that's going to be nice. Oracle's gotten a couple workers, so 4 total drones have died over the course of this game as herO takes a little bit delayed third base. Not really the end of the world. And the game goes on. Big deal, of course. No Twilight, no Robo just yet, as hero's going triple Oracle, and he with his next little bit of money as his gas starts to increase. That's where we're going to see his tech go down. But for right now, there we go. There's the Twilight. For right now, really, he is focused on building up that economy, getting himself set up, and the Lings are going to show up here. Solar is the Zerg, more than any other Zerg, that tries to be very aggressive on the third base of his Protoss opponents. But he's lost enough Lings over the course of this game that the Lings that he has made don't really allow him to put too much pressure on. His Oracle is now going to dive into the third base, but there's a Spore here, Queens as well, and this other Oracle hasn't killed anything, just taken some damage. But now, this is where life starts to get pretty complicated. Adepts shade into the third base, but I was going to say Oracles are going to go somewhere else, but herO a little bit too quick on that one. And in fact, he's sending his Adepts back home, so these interesting ideas that I expected to see Well, he's not really doing it just yet. He's setting up the ideas for it and then realizing it's not going to work. So, well, it's not really, not quite as powerful. But Revelation and Creep Clearing. This is actually when Creep Tumors were moved to light and Revelation became a much cheaper thing. Revelation used to last for forever, but cost a lot more energy. This is what the game devs that was not a community balance patch. This is what the devs were looking for. They wanted oracles to be a method for Protoss to be able to clear and deal with creep. So for now, oracles, they're doing a pretty nice job of curtailing the map control that Solar's been able to make for himself. And got more creep tumors. Drop the Revelation, there we go. Creep tumors go down. And of course, these are the juicy ones. You don't really care as much about getting the dormant creep tumors, but getting the active ones, that really does curtail things. Ling, though, on the other side of the map. Adepts are kind of caught out here, so they will fall. What do we have in the third base? Decent Sim City, and a Stalker warps in, but it's going to get surrounded. It's not, Stalker's not what you want. So it will go down here pretty quickly. Solar getting some nice trades. He's going to get no, he's not going to get a probe, and he's not going to find his way in either on the other side. What are the oracles doing? One is very low, and one did go down. So herO, he cannot be as aggressive with these oracles as he would like anymore. You need those oracles to make sure you stay safe and to power your aggression. You can lose one if they got value, but losing a second one becomes really problematic. So Overseer on the main base, Ling's getting set up, and Solar, we talked about how aggressive he likes to get with his Lings. He's doing a great job of it here. Look at what herO's doing. This is not how he normally plays the style. Yes, his blink is just about done. Yes, his +1's on the way, but this is double Robo Colossus. And I don't know, has Solar realized this? Technically, he saw the second Robo, but he might think this is double Robo Disruptor. Now, the answer is pretty similar to both. You want Vipers, but they are... your ground army composition is going to want to be a little different. You want a lot of Roaches against Colossus. You want a lot of Lings against Disruptors. But, well, here comes the army of herO moving across the map. Colossus are not here yet. They're rallying across. Mutas have been made, so this is incredible timing coming in from herO right now. Mutas are on the production tab, but they're not here in the fight. Even still, Lings get a good surround, but they do not have any upgrades. +1 is on the way. Mutas are going to arrive. Colossus shredding the Lings, but are there enough Stalkers here to kill the Mutas? That's the question. Second Colossus arriving here as well. Stalkers, they got to blink backwards. The Oracles are falling. Mutas are going to do what they can. Colossus is going to go down just barely, but no! The Phoenix, they need to fight, or the Mutas, they need to fight the Stalkers. One Colossus still it remains, and the Mutas, they're not able to take the fight that they want, and here comes herO once again through the middle of the map, shoving his army up the gullet. But Solar, he's got time. More and more Mutas are on the way. Disruptors joining this fight now, and one Colossus not nearly as powerful as two. But as the Muta commitment continues more and more, he's going up to 20 Mutas here. If he can take the fight, if Lings can kill off all the Stalkers, then the Mutas will reign supreme. But the Stalkers, they dominate the Mutas as well. Disruptors on the right side. Again, a little bit of lag. Sorry about that. Thank you, Korea. And the Lings, though, they're not taking the fight that they need. Muta count here starting to deplenish with tremendous alacrity. The Lings are doing what they can, but it's only 9 of them. They do not have +1. More and more Stalkers are warping in. Solar's doing what he can. Disruptor just zoning the Lings out. And game 1, folks, seems to be herO's. The army of Solar caught in transition. Not what it needs to be. And the Mutas here, they will not take this fight, not the way they needed to. And yes, +1 melee done soon. Well, actually, wait a minute here. +1 melee is going to be done soon enough, and Solar is going to start to knock these Stalkers down pretty quickly. So maybe, just maybe, the Lings that are being made, the Mutas continue to be made here. And herO, he's blinking so damn hard. Is this going to be enough? The Lings now, they're powerful. The Mutas, they've hit their power spike as well, but it's 5 Stalkers here. A couple more warp in. herO actually has got a decent amount of bank, but those Mutas, they find the warp prism, and this is going to break the back of the aggression. My God, Solar, that should not have been possible. But his micro, he had just enough money coming out of there that he's able to dominate this ground, dominate the sky, and now here come Lings and Mutas flooding across the map. The Stalker count's not nearly as big as they were, and now the wall is open. Solar, he sustains, he survives. But is he going to be able to get damage done on the far side? 5 workers have died immediately. And remember, herO, he was kind of all in on that. He was only on 3 bases, losing out on, he only has 4 mineral patches in the main base. And Solar just flooding in at this point. Shield battery overcharge has been popped, but the wall's down. That doesn't really matter. Muta's now going to try to find their way somewhere else. We need Archons. That is what is desperately needed by herO, more than anything else, but he does not have the tech. So it is just +1 Blink Stalkers, trying to survive against Muta Ling, and it seems like both players now realizing that's, yeah, I was gonna say hero's gonna tap out. At the very least, you're realizing that it's not great. 1-0 Solar. Okay, folks, the bottom left side of the map here in the blue. He's down a game, but oh, he almost had it. Almost he punched through. It is herO. And on the north side of the map in the blue, he's up a game, barely. Edge of his fingernails. It's Solar. And I know I said this as the game ended, but I'm going to say it again. Oh, Solar gets a natural. There we go. That's enough to put a smile on a Zerg's face. But anyways, I know I said it at the end of the last game, but oh man, this game is just that first game was incredible. That was so well played, such a razor's edge. That Solar narrowly, and I mean absolutely narrowly pushed through. Now we get to maybe see it happen again, but already maybe Solar's not super excited, or hero's not super excited about how this happens. He sends the probe across the map, does not get the probe block. But even still, that was I think that was maybe a 13 probe scout, not a 12 scout. So you maybe expect that to happen. Solar was almost baited out. It's just so standard that the Zerg is going to get their hatch canceled that you kind of send it out there anyways. But Solar quickly enough was able to respond, and well, the game has gone from there. So I'm going to assume we're going to see something similar in the early game from herO. This is his style. This is how he likes to play. Although Tropical Sacrifice can be a decent glaive map. It is a pretty quick rush distance, natural to natural. And there we go. It's got to be at least some semblance of a Twilight opener, whether it is glaives, whether it is DTs, whether it's 3-gate glaive, 4-gate glaive, something else. Really quick charge, maybe. It's not much of a thing though. This is gonna be a Twilight opener, and we just have to see where exactly herO wants to go with it. Keep your eyes on the gas. How much is saved? Whether it is gonna be for glaives, whether it's gonna be for DTs, but in general, it makes sense. It's a big map, but it is a short map, natural to natural, and certainly it is a map that you have nice fallbacks. It's really hard to break the high platform, the 3-4 base position. Stalker now. Ooh, this is a very exposed Stalker trying to kill this Overlord, but well, link speed is not yet done. But look at this. Solar's going for a Bane Bust. Solar is going. I love the confidence from this man. Solar, he's just Link Bane Bust. Game 2, why the hell not? And this might just work. It's Adepts. Okay, so the question is whether it's going to be an Adept or a Stalker in the wall. Stalker in the wall with the shield battery behind it, you're not breaking that. If it's an Adept in the wall, though, Banelings bust that down so quickly. So more and more Lings are on the way. Solar not quite able to find that position where the Stalker can't hit it. And yeah, Adept in the wall. Banelings are going to start morphing here. You got to put the Stalker. Wait, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. There's no shield battery. There's no shield battery on the wall. This may be a very quick game 2 victory coming out from Solar at this point, because hero's getting ready for the glaives. Oh, it's not even in the wall. The Banelings, they don't even have to connect. Lings are trying to find their way in. The Adepts fall immediately. There's nothing to keep the Stalker alive. The worst possible timing, and I hate to say it like that, but it really just, this hero's dead. Adepts warp in, sure, but the economy is already dead here. Banelings are going to crash down on the pylon. Lings get the surround on the Adepts. I'm not even sure where they shaded to. Back into the main base. This natural is forfeit, and more Adepts are going to warp in, but, well, okay, so maybe glaives. Glaives are done right now, but Banelings saying to hell with your glaives. They knock them all down, and now Lings in the middle line. Probes have been pulled, but, folks, the absolute worst possible timing coming in there from herO. Just, oh, that's a heartbreaker. He moves out. No one 2-base Bane busts, but Solar does. It's a 2-0 lead. Upper right side of the map, folks, in the red. He's down a game. Down in 2 games, actually, in this series, but second one didn't count. It's fine. It is herO. And in the bottom left in the blue, he held a nail biter game 1 and game 2. Well, Banelings did the job. It's Solar. And that just feels really bad. Okay, so herO should have won game number 1. He really should have. But Solar held on just enough until his +1 ground, his +1 air both completed. And he had just enough production to hold on. It was so damn close. Game 2 feels bad for a different reason. No one Bane busts. That's not a thing. But it is annoying as, oh, herO, he's being a... Down 2 games? Well, why don't we go? Why don't we cannon rush? That sounds like a lot of fun, but the drones already have been pulled. Solar is suspicious as hell, and the forge is now complete, but when the forge is done and there are no cannons on the way, there's not even a pylon down. It's a disaster. This is just... No. Okay, wait, did he block? He's not even gonna block the high ground. This is the absolute worst possible timeline. Forge fast expand is not a thing. You can reactively... Actually, I'm not sure if that's true in this meta, but at least in many previous metas, you can reactively Ravager all in a Forge Fast Expand. Now, of course, he did cancel, so there is at least that. But this is just so... The Cyber Course is so late. So now herO's going to have to make really an apple pie out of a bunch of spoiled apples at this point. Stargate is on the way. And he's going to have to try to make something happen. Luckily for him, herO, or not herO, but Data Sea is the biggest map in the pool. Takes a little longer to go and run across the map, do anything like that. So Solar, he's just going to sit here. Third base is on the way. He can drone unfettered for a time. And the question now is whether the Oracles are going to be able to bring this back a little bit. Not going to be easy. Even if this was a at least the Forge was canceled. At least herO does have that going for him. But if we look at resources last year, I mean, yes, 37 minerals, but it is slow tempo. It is slow tech. And the question now is just, how is herO going to deal with this? If I'm Solar at this point, now granted, Solar doesn't know this was an attempted cannon rush. He just knows that a probe was sharking around like it was a potential for one. So he may not have a good understanding of just quite how good of a situation that he's in. But the first Oracle is going to arrive. Good queen positioning, though. Will be able to shove it out for the moment. Oh, he's going to get it work, though, as the Adepts will arrive. And what we were talking about earlier, the whole herO putting Adepts in one mineral line and Oracles in another. I mean, that's just... He does that pretty well, but Solar is on top of that. Lings Shadow the Shade. Oracle doesn't get any damage done. Queens are well positioned. And that is a... Well... That's a hidden Evo, but it's an Evo for +1 melee. Most likely here. I wonder if herO goes Charge Archon out of this. It's a high eco... It's a very timing required setup, but if Solar is going to think this is just kind of standard herO play, I mean, Charge that Archon can be very good against that. All right, now the Oracles, they get a couple workers there. They see the Evo chamber, and from the positioning, you can pretty much figure out this is +1 melee. So that may change his mind. That may make the decision for him. But for right now, herO's third is just about done, which is not quite as fast as you would like. And there we go. Charge +1 on the way. We're on 4 gases here. So Charge Lot Archon, probably Storm behind this. And that can put the pedal to the metal as herO now adds on the rest of his gateways, going up to 6. That can absolutely kill a Zerg playing like Solar is, folks. There's no Roach Warren. It is all going to be about the Lings and maybe eventually the Banes, which, hey, if the Charge Lot Archon hits, which, by the way, it tries to hit in about 2 minutes from now, that absolutely can kill even a Zerg that is in a pretty good spot like Solar is at this point. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that timing, folks. And there we go. Templar Archives, Warp Prism as well. the layer for Solar's pretty late too, so they just started Baneling Speed, Overseer Vision, and Oracle, they snap back and they kill the Queen. That's a nice start, and now this is it's a much more undefended third base. Yeah, there's a Spore, but the Oracles have plenty of shields, so 3-4 workers will go down, fly in, fly out once again. Really don't take that much hull damage. And Solar needs to figure this out. And he does. Okay, Roach Warren is on the way. And he's going to, of course, let +1 melee finish. He spent a lot of time into it, and you never hate having speedlings. Or you never hate having more feisty speedlings. And we got to ask yourselves, though, how did Solar figure out what is happening here? Now, what tells has he seen? Because really he hasn't seen any tech. And what you're going to look at is the fact that there have been no stalkers visible on the map, and that really is the only tell that you need. But now, okay, Ling's more on the way, Roaches as well. Solar, though, he needs time, and he needs to get these Roaches out. The Archons will absolutely shred things. So herO, he's not going all in necessarily. He's got his 4th base on the way, but this is an intensely powerful time for him. The Queens, they're off creep. They got to run away here, be able to get to a place where they can transfuse. One Queen will fall. Second one is going to stay alive just a little bit longer, but Archons jump on top of this one. Where are our Roaches? They are necessary. They were needed yesterday. Here comes herO, steamrolling forward, and this is not going to be like game number 1. There are too many charge lots, and herO, he has a shot from a disastrous start. He's got a shot at this series now. He takes game 3, and we're moving to 4. In the upper left, folks, in the red, he took 1 game. Can he take 2? Can he send us to a grand finals, or to a ace map? He is herO. And his opponent on the bottom right in the blue, he needs only 1 more on the Zerg map. It's Solar. For now, nothing crazy. Actually, there is one thing that is crazy, and that is the fact that herO is not probe scouting at all. He's got a gateway on the wall. He's no probe across the map. He's not hatch blocking, and this tells us he might be going for some pretty powerful timing. Not sure just yet, but when you are this greedy as the Protoss, you generally have something in mind. You're not just kind of sitting there and saying, oh, it's fine. I'm going to let the Zerg do whatever they want because, I don't really, it's fine. No. The whole goal of really any race playing a Zerg in StarCraft 2 is to make that Zerg as uncomfortable as possible so they do not drone hard enough, so they do not develop themselves appropriately, and then you can go kill them. But if you decide to not make them uncomfortable, you decide to not put that pressure on, it means you're going for something maybe a little faster, maybe a little greedier, and the Stargate's going to go down. So for now, not really showing us what herO is looking for, although again, by not probe scouting, he certainly has his economy is a much better spot than it would be earlier, mining a lot more early on. Maybe it's just the feeling that Solar's not going to Baneling bust him twice in a series, and if he opens Stargate, he's going to be pretty safe against Baneling busts for the most part anyways, so he's not super scared of a lot of early game shenanigans. Maybe the play there, maybe what he's calling for. If the game isn't played on the surface of the sun, it's not StarCraft, it's just sparkling video games. But okay, Oracles are on the way. Really, actually, surprisingly, nothing out of the ordinary for herO at this point. Where we're going to keep an eye on things is for now Solar. Third base on the way. This is just what we expect. This is just how the game goes. And the Stalker does some damage, and with the Oracle popping out, this should be a dead Overlord pretty quickly. And there we go. So Solar, though, he's paying attention to things. He's gonna get a couple more Overlords. Not gonna get supply blocked by losing this for all that long. Yeah, he was supply blocked briefly, but you get the extra Overlord, and he's gonna be fine. Now, the herO does get his third base much quicker in this game number 3 than he did game 2, or really any of the other games in this series. It's 3:30 instead of 4 minutes. And that is, again, one of the things that doing that not probe scouting can give you. You have a little bit more economy early. It allows you to Just get your tech a little faster, and then we'll get your third base just a little bit faster. And whether this is going to be something that is game deciding, I don't know. But for now, Solar. Looks like he's going to go +1 melee once again, and herO getting ready for the... it looks like Charizard Archon once again. Notice he's only on 2 oracles, not 3. That is one of the tells, and it's not always necessarily going to be one, but keep your eye on what comes out of the Twilight Council. He's got enough gas for something, but okay, no, it will be Blink. Never mind. I kind of like the... Against this... the Zerg style, right, of getting +1 melee. I mean, you feel like you kind of like... Just the Charizard Archon is really, really good, but 3 workers will go down for the moment. And herO does get the scout off. Oh, dives back in, but these oracles now getting very low. One more shot, but it will stay alive. And I don't even know why I bother getting excited about this anymore. herO is so good at playing to the absolute edge. At playing so hard on the margins with his oracles that it's like, okay, well, yeah, it's getting low, but does it even matter? He's not going to lose it. He's herO. But now, so... This is Solar's playing 50-50 right now. He's got about 50 drones, 45, close enough. And now he's building about 50 lings. Baneling Nest is on the way. +1 melee is on the way. The Stay Strap's going to get 2 drones, not 1. Shame on you, Solar. Should have gotten 1. But regardless, he's pumping now a ton of lings. Now, it looks like he's going to try to put pressure. Yeah, he's going to put pressure on this third base. The Baneling Nest is just about done. It's not timing out with +1 melee. But Solar, there is a world where he just breaks this third base down. What does herO have? He has a shield battery. That's going to be what the Banelings are for, by the way. He's got 7 Stalkers. Blink is pretty far away, and the Stalkers actually, they're going out on the map. herO is being very greedy here. He's got his 4th base before 6 minutes. Solar is going to try to punish this in the extreme, but no, he's just going to go for the natural instead. Ling's getting on top of this. There's no shield battery in the natural, folks. The Banelings, they're just going to add a little bit more. Sentries arrive, though, and now it seems like Solar is going to maybe try to put his pressure on, put his attention on the third base. And yeah, there we go. Getting right on top of the pylon, on top of the shield battery. Banelings, though, they're trying to wedge their way in. This doesn't really seem to be working for Solar all that well, but as I say, that the pylon getting very close to going down here, and the shield battery overcharge is powering the pylon. It's not keeping the Stalkers alive, but it's just not going to work out. Yeah, herO has the hold, and Solar takes us to game 5. Upper left-hand side of the map, folks, in the red. He lost the first 2 games, but he is 1 map away from a reverse sweep. It is herO. And of course, his opponent on the bottom right. Really weird game in game 4. It is Solar. And to be totally honest, I'm not very sure why my Solar went for that. As I was saying during the break, it kind of feels like it's just maybe you do something like that because your opponent wouldn't expect it. But I don't know. We're going to have to see. At least for now, herO, again, he's not probe scouting. He is... Well, actually, no, he did. I'm sorry. What am I saying? He did probe scout. He's aware that Solar has bases as he has bases. He's aware of the gas timing. He's not going to be quite so greedy as he was on Cosmic. But Moondance is also a much shorter map. It is Ling floods in the 12 pools and actually can be pretty impactful. Although, I can't remember the last time I saw a 12 pool versus a Protoss in a pro game. Yeah, it's been a while. Huh. Don't know when it last was. That's good news for us. Means the game's going to go on a little bit. Means we're not going to have a game that just immediately ends. Which is nice, you know. We've had a really, really tight... Game 1 was dazzling. And then we had a couple games that were less satisfying. I mean, I guess game 3 was pretty good. herO did a great job coming back from a failed cannon rush, where he even canceled the forge. Although... it really turned into Solar just not being prepared for the charge lot opening or the charge lot timing, so he just kind of died. And then it was 1 successful cheese from Solar, 1 failed cheese from Solar. But for now, though, herO is going Stargate. And he's going into the mid game as we expect. He's going to get a couple oracles, whether it's 2, whether it's 3. That really depends on what shade, what variant of the herO style he likes to go for. And it's now going to be on Solar to respond to this as he would like. Whether he wants to build about 50 lings and try to Baneling bust a Protoss player. Not sure I'd recommend that one necessarily. Or whether he wants to do something a little more standard. I don't know. And I wonder what the fact that Solar has tried to cheese twice. One time it worked, one time it didn't. But I wonder what that says about how he feels about the matchup, or about herO in particular. There was a time, right, when herO, no Protoss player in Korea wanted to play herO in PvP because it's just too hard to figure out what he was doing. Ooh, you love it. Oh, this is Geralt does this a lot, and it is very obnoxious. He's gonna get one worker, easy, not gonna get a second, and the Adept shades up. But the Queen damage here, yeah, the Adept is going to be at least able to get back off a creep. And Lings, though, with Ling speed, they're going to, oh, okay, Adept's gonna try to run in the middle line, doesn't get another worker. No. Spore cancel. Well done, Solar. Good crisis management. But Oracle dives in now, getting a little bit more. 2 workers will fall. Because again, Solar loves to be delayed on his spores. I guess it seems to him that it is good enough to where it's worth losing a couple drones to not get the spores super early. And you know, if we do the math on this for a second, it actually, that kind of makes sense. So a spore is 75 minerals. You have to buy another drone to get back up to your drone count. Therefore, it's 125. And you lose out on some mining time by not doing that. So call it 150, give or take. It might not be quite 150, but we'll say it's effectively worth 3 drones. So as long as that initial pressure does not kill 3 workers, it's kind of worth it. Now, the initial pressure did kill 3, but the spore would only have defended maybe 2 of those because of the Oracle damage. So anyway, I guess it makes sense if you're at a high enough level where you're not just going to lose your entire mineral line to an Oracle or something like that. And of course, Solar absolutely is. So this is going to be a little bit different of an opener from Solar in this game, in this 5th and final game. There is no Evo Chamber on the way. Instead, there's a Roachborn, there is a Lair, and so it's going to be a Roachling Ravager most likely coming out from Solar. Less of a focus on upgrades, and when he gets them, again, most likely going to be ranged first. Oh no, actually, that's not a fair statement to make just yet. Oracle dives in though, and there's no spore here, so it's gonna get 1 more worker. But for the most part, despite the lack of spores, there's only 2 on the map right now. And actually, Solar's not even getting a spore at his natural. That is some confidence right there. But despite the lack of spores, it's only been 4 dead workers. Solar's doing a really good job with his queen positioning. And herO, 1 game for all the marbles. He's going back into the style that nearly won him during Mac Valencia. That meant that he had not lost his EVP in, well, quite a while, until Dark took him down in 5 games. It's just gonna be interesting to see how Solar goes for this. The build orders, or the series planning from herO actually has been really nice. He has punished the +1 melee 50-50 openers enough. He did it once with the Charizard Archon, and then Solar tried to do something weird. I guess that actually doesn't really count. He did that enough that Solar is going +1 melee, but it is a much later +1 melee. It's not going to be +1 Lings right as you move on the map. So hero's going to have a lot of time to be aggressive, to have fun, to do things on the map before the Lings start to get really feisty. And behind this, oh, interesting. Is he going to go for that Colossus timing again? This time there's no Spire. This time, the army that Solar is making is a lot worse against what the type of army that herO is going to have. Now, yeah, technically, if you run out of the map right as the muses are popping, I mean, that can be problematic because they don't necessarily fight. But as we saw, if Solar was able to make something happen by enough time, it was good. This time, it's going to be a bunch of roaches. I think this might be Blinkstalker Colossus. I mean, realistically, it's most likely disruptors. That'd be kind of cool. So we're going to keep an eye on whether there are any upgrades coming out, or whether it will just... Okay, it's just going to be disruptors, yeah. Immortal was being made just to buy some time, but... Alright. Stalkers move forward here. They're just establishing their position on the map for the most part. By the way, I want to point something out. Look at this wall that herO is getting set up here. He really does not want to die to a run by, so he's setting up some chokes, making it a little bit easier to hold on. And here comes herO. on the map. And again, he's not doing too much just yet. He's waiting for his fourth base to get set up. He's waiting for charge. He's waiting for +2. He's waiting for disruptors. Although as I say that, he's only got one, and he doesn't have another one on the way. There we go. So he's going to start producing that one once again. So he's waiting for the next round of his tech. And Solar seems to be banking. What is he? Is he going swarm hosts? No, he's got a hive on the way. It seems like he doesn't really know what to build, so he's just banking a decent amount of larva. Although he's spent all that now. Banelings are on the way because here comes the army of herO. By the way, before this fight happens, look at the SimCity. I mean, he's kind of gross. But here comes herO on the other side of the map. The Banelings are not done just yet. Biles are going to buy some time. Disruptors actually kill a lot of these Banes. That's going to be very nice. Meanwhile, of course, herO has a big run by on the fourth base, but Banelings actually get incredible connections, and the Disruptors, one of them will fall. Another shot goes out here, and that will force the army back just a little bit. But the fourth base of Solar is dead, or I guess this is the fifth, because there's the fifth base is going to stay alive. The Zealots, for the most part, seems like they're going to get out as well, but this is +2 now done. So Biles will kill a lot of the Zealots. War Prism's going to try to save as many as possible, but Solar, he took a nice fight in the front. He lost a base though. And herO does have his fifth base on the way. And interestingly enough, he's not going into +3. He's getting armor. He's getting shields. He's going from there, but he's not getting that additional attack upgrade. And I'm actually not up to date on the math, whether it doesn't really, for Stalkers, say for Stalkers versus Lings, whether that you don't kill a shot faster or something. But anyway, he's going to let his army get a little bit tankier rather than making them do a little bit more damage. I guess maybe that makes sense as you're moving into disruptor play. What really matters is the disruptor shots going off rather than actually your army. I mean, the DPS of your army is fantastic, but you do really want the disruptors are what matters. So if they stay alive longer, that's probably going to be the value. But already there is hive. Already there are vipers on the way, which hurts. I mean, that's what you want. That deals with any sort of robotech. And actually, that's a great scout there. herO, he sees it, and I'm pretty sure he actually saw his Banelings come rolling into the mineral lines. Here, probes are going to have to run away, but they're a little slow, so 15 workers have hit the deck, and there are still more Banes knocking down the rest of the static defense. But realistically, hero's on 5 Nexus. He can chrono out 5 probes pretty quickly. So he doesn't want to lose that a number of workers, but he's going to come back on that one pretty nicely. This +2 armor on the way is... Yeah, this is just herO trying to be as tanky as possible. It's kind of interesting to see. We're going to have him... I think we're going to see him go to 2-2-2. Banelings come crashing in, and they get a couple Stalkers, but that is never going to be cost effective. Certainly now that the Stalkers can regenerate their shields, and, well, they are more shields than armor anyways. Am I right in saying that? No, they're equal. I'm sorry, they're 50-50. But here's a big surround coming in from Solar. Blinding Clouds, maybe? No, they're just looking for the abducts on the Disruptors. Shots go off, none of them hit. And here comes the army of Solar. Now, Oracles are doing what they can. But you know what? The nice thing about this is the Zealots are actually beating a lot of this back. And wait a minute here. Is this actually going to work out for herO? It didn't feel like it would when the Disruptors didn't get their value. But then now we're going to start to see Ravagers go down. Zealots on the right side. The Queens are fighting strong. But the War Prism is still there. More Zealots can warp in, and Disruptors can knock down a lot of these morphing Banes. herO just needs the vision of it. He's going to see it. Getting on top of things. Disruptor shot to cancel all the Banelings. The Oracle will fall. But it's just Zealots. It's Zealots against Lings, and these are tanky boys. Now Roach is starting to arrive more and more, but shot, no, it's not going to go down. Oh, there we go. A Viper Abduct is going to be enough for the time being. And herO, I think, is going to have to give this position up. It was almost a breakthrough. He almost made something happen. But at the end of the day, the Vipers had just enough energy to make sure that that Disruptor did not kill the Roaches. And that really was the difference. As now Solar getting double attack upgrades once again, +2 range, +3 melee. And hero's got to go to the next level of his tech. It's going to be now +3 attack. Interesting. Yeah, there is some math there that I'm not familiar with. So if someone knows, please let me know about why the upgrade timings are as they are. I'll have to ask someone. But anyways, Solar's now back close to maxed out. More and more Banelings are on the way. He's got +2 melee. So, of course, one-shots workers, knocks down, does a great job of knocking down structures for the time being. But now hero's caught on the map a little bit. Here comes Solar from multiple angles. Can he get the damage he wants? Looks like for the moment, it's not going to do all that because Zealots are running by the other side now. Okay, well, here comes our Protoss player through the middle of the map. Both players fighting desperately to control that middle. Zealots in the main base here. They're going to fight a bunch of queens. The Warp Prism will fall, but Ling's trying to deal with this one. But it looks like Zealots are going to start to pair away at this, what is that? The 6th base of Solar. And here comes Stalkers on the left side. This is the 3rd base, so it's not quite as important. Doesn't have quite as much economy, but the Disruptors, where are they? Ling's trying to get on top of them. Stalkers have to defend. That one Disruptor falls. Second one is going to go down. Disruptor zones that out, and Baneling will go down. Actually, Disruptors are doing a great job of staying alive. Vipers are pretty high in energy, though, so you got to be very careful. The Vipers have to go down first. But now, here we go. Fighting retreat coming in from herO. The Disruptors will fall, but he's just trying to fight his way. Oh, he's going to get a Viper there. Very nice. He's trying to fight his way back to kill this base as he's killed the economy of Solar as well, and he should. There we go. That's going to be the dead 6th base. Damage started earlier, completed now, but that's a misrally Disruptor. Not really what you're looking for. And now Solar, he's back on 5 bases. Is only on 67 workers. The supplies, though, he's doubling the army supply of herO. Is this going to be enough? Roaches arrive here. Shield battery overcharge is rather nice indeed. Baneling's come crashing in as well. Disruptor from the backside. It's not going to really hit, though, and the Viper abducts it. It will not get a second shot. So, Zealots on the right side. No Banelings here. That is the big deal. +3 is done in 3, 2, 1. These are 3, 2, 1 Zealots, 3, 2, 1 Stalkers looking for the flank. Here comes the Disruptor as well, but it's not going to get close enough. Not really. And Solar backs his way through a choke, so it's only the Stalkers that are willing to fight. And herO? He's got a pretty big mineral bank. He maintains. Now, of course, it's going to be very hard for him to move on. He's got one more base that is, I'm not even going to say easy, but easy enough to take. This Sim City, by the way, is real. I know I've talked about it a couple times, but this Sim City is kind of disgusting. I love it so much. It is running by there is kind of a fool's errand. But yeah, it's not really so for the outlying bases, and there is no wall here. As here come the Zealots moving forward. Banelings are morphing, but most of them are there aggressively, so Stalkers move forward. And how many Vipers? We have 1, but it does have enough abducts here, and the shots will not go off. But folks, there is one. No, I'm sorry, there are multiple Vipers. There is one more Disruptor here, but herO, he has to go backwards. There we go. That's the dead Disruptor, but he is choking out this position. Banelings, they come crashing into the 5th base, and herO, he loses a bit of his economy. He loses a lot of his tech. And yeah, we have a Templar Archives, but there we go. There's some High Templars. Now we're going to see some Archons. I would not hate seeing a bunch of High Templar, though, just for the feedbacks on the Vipers, because, well, if you get a shot off, it's going to be really nice. The Disruptors really can swing this game, but with the Vipers just being constantly here and the Stalkers never able to snipe them, they're just not able to. It feels like a lot of dead supply. Although I guess it does force the Vipers to use their energy, so we're not going to see like blinding clouds on the Stalkers or something. But herO active on the map once again. This is just Stalkers, though. Look, notice the positioning. He's getting himself ready to blink on the high ground, but here come the Lings already. It's a brilliant surround, but the Stalkers will be able to blink outside of it anyways. And here comes Disruptors. Vipers are not in position, but the shots will not go off. And Biles now, well, they're going to dodge. Stalkers move forward. And what a game 5 to give us after kind of an underwhelming series thus far. I mean, outside of game 1, but 2, 3, and 4, kind of And this is a game where both players are just not pulling their punches. herO's on 91 probes. His economy going like gangbusters, but his army supply not quite there just yet. More Banelings are going to morph in. As herO is on the bottom side, there's a very real opportunity, very real world where we effectively trade a base for a base. But it seems like herO's going to back up for the moment. Instead, he's trying to keep this base alive. And is he aware of the counterattacks coming on in? Or the attack really coming in from Solar? Looks like that answer is no. Probes are going to get, well, they're not even going to get pulled. It's going to be a full recall here, but actually the Banelings, they're not a lot of them, and this is going to be no dead workers. Maybe 1, maybe 2. Meanwhile, Zealots find their way onto the other side. 9 workers are falling. Brilliant response there from herO, and he gets some on the other side. That was a lot of Banelings for Solar to lose. And now herO's maxed out for the first time in a while. He's got this base just about done, adding more static defense. Ling on the run by. Well, it's not going to work out that well. Zealots will find them. And how good are the splits from herO? They're actually pretty nice. He will still lose some of his Zealots, but you're trading gas for minerals. That's kind of okay if you're herO, because this is not main army. This is not a key fight. This is just run by. So now herO active on the left side, unlocking his attempted run by as well, but it seems like the army is prepared for that one. Stalkers now. They're not going to get on top of the Vipers just yet. Biles actually hit a lot of these Archons. That one Archon is very, very low indeed. Now it's going to get popped. Abduct once again on the Disruptors and the Archons, and it's just so hard to run away from this army. There we go. That's the blinding cloud that we were talking about. Archons cannot fight. Immortals cannot fight. This is a pretty damn good fight coming in from Solar, but he does have run bys you got to deal with on the other side, and the Zealots are starting to absolutely shred. 4 workers have gone down. The Roaches will not fall, but a lot of them get traded out. Even still, herO loses a decent amount of his army supply, and the game goes on. This is such a crazy game 5. Although the Queen's now moving forward, that's a lot of energy to use. But herO's got to find some way to knock this creep spread down. He's got to find some way to relieve the pressure from really what are 2 bases on the left sides. Now Lings move forward. Archons, they're not ready just yet. Well, actually the Abduct is an immortal, and that's going to stay alive. It truly is immortal in this game. But the Stalkers, they want so desperately to blink on top of these Vipers and knock them down and allow the army of herO to actually take a fight. But there's so much behind. There's so many Banelings, so many Lings that are ready to pounce that it's just not really going to happen. But that's a pretty nice Disruptor shot on the Baneling, and here comes the flank from the right side. No Banelings here. Banelings that come crashing on the Archons on top of the Immortals, but that's not the connection you're looking for. Now Lings, though, they're going to find a Disruptor on the high ground. More and more Lings are morphing in, or Zealots are warping in here, but now herO, he doesn't want to take the fight outside of his base. He would rather take a fight from his opponent. Big recall. It will get back out to herO's base, and the Stalkers get out as well. Excellently played there from herO, but it is still a scary situation. Stalkers looking for a bit of a flank here. Can they get the Vipers? That's really the big deal. They're on the backside. Biles are going to go down on the base, but that doesn't really matter. Stalkers from a bit of a flank, but, well, they're going to have to run away. One will fall. But finally, we're starting to see the effects of plus 20 workers for just a significant economic advantage for the majority of this game really starting to bear fruition. Solar, he's now consistently behind the supply of his opponent, and he does not have a lot of money. Anyways, Biles will land, or not land, excuse me. And now herO has another base. He's pretty up on bases on Solar at this point, and now he's got to knock this base down. The economic lead is too damn strong. The Vipers miss. They get a Stalker. That's not what you want, but Banelings, they do find their way into that extraneous base. But even still, 15 workers go down, and herO has a worker lead. Banelings, they come snapping in, but the Vipers are now starting to fall. Stalkers get 1, and here comes the army of herO. 103 army supply to 97. No Banelings ready right now. 5 on the way, but herO, he's starting to run out of money. He does not have minerals. He's not able to build a bank. But herO does not want to move up on that side. Instead, he seems to want to go after these outlying bases, checking the platform, and he's going to lose 2 bases for his decision. Now, if he gets a couple bases here and he's able to, I don't know, knock down some reinforcements, maybe that may end up being worth his while. But for right now, I don't know that losing 2 bases for 1 is necessarily worth it. But that being said, the other thing we need to talk about is the fact that this position he's built is a lot harder for Solar to look to engage. Now, there we go. Great feedback. 1 Disruptor gets abducted, but the Viper is now useless in this fight, and the Concave from herO is pretty damn fantastic. So here we go. Maybe the last fight of the game. Zealots, they're trying to run in more Immortals as well, and Solar, he does not have a lot of money. He's only on 50 workers. Zealots actually find their way into the natural, which at this point doesn't really matter, but he's going to start to find something. And this Concave is just something that Solar cannot fight into. He needs more Banelings, but they're not ready just yet. Here comes the fight from herO. Stalkers blink forward. They're actually, the Baneling cocoons, they're serving as force fields, and herO comes storming all the way back 3 games in a row off a really bad start. And he takes game number 5, what was absolutely the game of the series. And he is your champion here of the last EPT Korea, where EPT points are available. What a game. What a damn game from herO.